The resolution before us today is this House will abolish the PLM Chapel, and I am officially opening this debate. Let's hear the government side headed by Mr. Rhetoric.
Our resolution for today is that this House would remove the chapel from PLM. Now, by this, we mean to address the shrine of Jesus, the divine teacher, that is adjacent to the campus ministry office and multi-purpose hall found in the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila, or the University of the City of Manila, which is a municipal government-funded, tuition-free university within the district of Intramuros in Manila, the Philippines. The government will remove the chapel as an exclusively Catholic place of worship, or to remove the structure to render it fit for whatever new purpose it may serve. As in any context, a relationship between two entities work best when the participants function in a give and take exchange. It is both our right and our responsibility to be given information about and to be involved in the administrative endeavors of our dear university. Falling under this right and responsibility is the determination of whether the university chapel should be maintained or removed. The first question to ask is, what is Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila? The University of the City of Manila is the first institution of higher learning in the Philippines to be fully subsidized by a local government unit established through Republic Act 4196, which authorizes the City of Manila to operate its own university. And as a public university, it is important to note that PLM is a non-sectarian entity with a previously established definition. Therefore, PLM is a higher education institution that focuses on offering academic programs in many various disciplines within an atmosphere of total freedom from religious and political interference. That alone is enough to raise concerns about the presence of the university chapel. Having a Catholic chapel undermines the religious freedom and imposes Catholic beliefs on Catholics. The presence of the chapel blurs the identity of the school as a school that strives to be liberal in terms that it is not influenced by a religious sect or a political group. The PLM as an institution seeks the total development of the person, particularly his social consciousness and his spiritual enhancement, while promoting the Filipino culture. Now, considering that religion is part of culture, it is also important to note, however, that there is a fine line between preservation of culture and the practice of freedom of religion. Now, this means that we should be aware that there is a need to, if we are going to live peacefully and constructively in the world, for cultures to have the right to protect themselves, as well as the call for religious freedom. It is why this House proposes the removal of the chapel in order to address both issues, and also to be able to fulfill the identity of PLM as an academic institution by instead allocating the area or the facility of the chapel for its new purpose of either as an educational or academic facility, wherein the institution will be also able to address the development of intellectual growth and advancement of human knowledge.
I am here to rebut what the Prime Minister said, that there is discrimination within the religion here in PLM because of the church. There is no discrimination because PLM does not cite any religion being public university. The chapel is owned by the Archdiocese of Manila and is paying rent to PLM. PLM did not build the chapel, but due to majority of Catholics petitioned to build the chapel. That shrine of Jesus, the divine teacher, was built to symbolize the concern of the church and the university for the spiritual needs of all students. All the faculty members and employees petitioned to build it, and through the fundraising activities undertaken by the committee, and it was blessed and inaugurated by His Eminence Jaime Cardinal C.C., Archbishop of Manila, on the 17th day, December 1990, and the church established for 23 years. We at the opposition believe that we should not destroy PLM Chapel because there is no such probable cause to do. And it is a big help to the students for spiritual and inspirational for their studies. If you remove that chapel for abolishment, there is no detriment but benefits to the school.
Since the chapel is paying rent to the PLM, we have the right to send petitions regarding the abolishment of the chapel. Moreover, if you would leave the representation to the chapel itself, it would be counterproductive, seeing only the majority of the university's population as Catholic. Accepting these terms would mean neglecting the minority. The development of spiritual enhancement is taken as a whole for the PLM community, not just for the majority or just for the minority. It is faulty to say that Catholicism is only spirituality to be addressed, since it is not the burden of the university population to uphold what has been established by history. Not all that has been going on for years is right.
It is not right to abolish the chapel if in the first place it is already built, and it will cost too much expensive to abolish it. The money that we'll use to abolish the church and the chapel can use to improve the facilities in our school, like the air conditions, chair, and other rooms that we need to improve. Also, the chapel is a vital structure for the students in helping their spiritual needs. It becomes accessible because Holy Mass is conducted for the benefits of the people. There is no disadvantages in having a chapel in the university, and yet becomes a cornerstone of the people's faith.
The church cannot be removed according to the Bill of Rights because there have a separation between the state and the region and church. And the people can only want to decide if the church will be removed. We know that the majority students who study here in PLM is Catholic, so it means it cannot be abolished.
Let's have a recap about the resolution, the arguments, the point of information, and the point of thought of our team. We have three arguments. The first one is that the PLM is a non-sectarian, meaning that it is not affiliated to any religious sector or political group. Second one is the freedom and equality, majority versus minority. It was stated in the Article 3, Section 5 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, the freedom and the rights of the Filipino people concerning the religious aspect. The third argument is that the conversion into educational facility, since the PLM is a state university, I mean not only a state university, but a scholars university, we can convert the facility of a chapel into a facility that can be used for academic purposes. With these arguments, we can not only tell, but we can also show why the pamantasan ng lungsod ng Maynila Chapel should be abolished.
As our points of information and thoughts are laid, this House firmly believes that the abolishment of the PLM Chapel should not be pursued. First, the chapel does not show discrimination among other religions. Instead, it accepts all student or staff who needs it. The chapel manages to boost spiritual health. Its mere facade symbolizes hope and faith. The chapel is not causing any disturbances. Therefore, there is no cost to abolish it. Another thing, the abolishment of the chapel would result to a big expense of PLM. A space was really allocated for the chapel to be a part of the PLM University. If an educational facility would be a replacement, then PLM shouldn't have prioritized the need of a chapel. Instead, build an educational facility or denied it in the first place.
This House that believes that we should not abolish the church, opposing the government design and strong points, because based on our premises, it gives a reasonable cost for development of the pamantasan of lungsod ng Maynila. Within this, there is no disadvantages that can lead in abolishing the church. Yet, it gives the people within the university their spiritual needs, their identity, and their enhancement.
This House believes that the government still stands strong with its arguments. Firstly, the House thinks that the arguments remain strong since the first and second premises offered by the House upholds the core identity of pamantasan ng lungsod ng Maynila, as well as keeping in mind the manifestations of its philosophies. Meanwhile, the last premise offered provides a developmental policy that still looks for the development of all or the majority and every single individual in the university.
So this is the final decision. After the deliberation of both teams' argument, we concluded that the opposition side should be able to provide sound and able arguments that have strongly support clear evidence and analysis to the motions presented. While the government side, they provided logical analysis and developmental policies, but still, it has not shown essential information that enable us to firmly believe and be persuaded about the logical statements delivered.
Thank you.